Welcome back to Let's Talk About It with Janae Calloway. Thank you so much for joining me yet again. I am on episode 5. We made it to episode 5. I know it's been a long time since I made a video last, but guess what? I'm still here and better late than never. This episode 5 is going to be on my trip to Kenya that I took over the holidays. Yes, the holidays. Yes, the holidays of Christmas and New Year's. Don't even ask. I know I'm late, but whatever. I'm here now, and here's my travel diary. I went to Kenya. All the way from Florida. And so this episode is just going to talk about my trip, how I got there, and everything else in between. So here we go. All right, so when I fly, I like to fly first class. Sometimes it don't always end up that way, but here we go. On Delta, I was in Delta One. Nice food, nice service, a lot of wine. Oh my gosh, they served me wine, very good food. I flew out of Detroit, and it was a very good experience. That's in the lounge. I forgot to take a picture. I had to take a total of 3 flights to get to Nairobi, Kenya. These are all the meals that I've had flying through Delta and KLM. And when I got to Amsterdam, because I flew to Detroit, then Amsterdam, I was able to take a shower. And I thought this was pretty cool because, getting over there, that was 8 hours. It was like the next day already. And I was, not feeling the freshest. So I was able to shower there. The facilities were very nice, as you can see. And when I got finished, I walked around a little bit just to see what this airport was like. It was not too different from an American airport. But here I am back on my next flight, still in Delta One. When I say they know how to pour wine, they poured wine the entire trip. Oh, this right here was a gift that KLM gives you anytime you fly in first class with them. So, and you can collect them. You can select a different one each time. So that's pretty cool. Here I am just preparing to relax finally on my last leg of the trip to Kenya. And look, I'm going back now. I'm about to lay my butt down and go to sleep. This experience right here was probably the whole reason that I even bought a Delta One ticket, because I want to be able to lay down and relax when I'm flying all of these miles and for this amount of time. When I finally got to Kenya, we had service pick us up from the hotel that we were staying at called the Social House. That's my brother right there. He's who I was going there with. We met there in Kenya. And so, we had to go through the gate, and I don't know what that was about, but here's the Social House. Now, at every hotel there in Kenya, it was like heavy security. Every hotel was gated. You had to put your belongings through a security process every time. But here we are inside the hotel. It's a decent hotel. The Social House, was it a Marriott? No, it wasn't Marriott. My brother booked this one. But it was a decent hotel. A bathroom tells you a lot about a hotel. When we got there, we immediately went down to their restaurant and got some food and some drinks and just caught up for a bit before the next day. The next day, we were there for a wedding. So the next day, here we are. We're showing up to, this is actually not the wedding portion, but this is the welcoming of the bride to the village of Mitabani. And the bride is right there in the yellow and purple. And we're just showing up. This is the mother-in-law that I'm hugging. And they're welcoming her. That's the groom in the green and red pants. And it was a whole production, y'all. It was amazing, to be honest. Like, I was like, oh, wow. Like, I wasn't expecting this at all. When they said we were going to his home village, I'm thinking, oh, we're just going to go probably have something to eat and meet his family. And oh, no. They brought the village out to perform and to dance and to sing. And I'm going to let y'all listen to a little bit of what they're saying. So yeah, it was a really good time. They were very hospitable, and let me tell you, they can dance. They can dance, and not only can they dance, they want you to dance too. And we were like, okay, we gonna dance. We coming. But yeah, can you imagine just like, and I wish I would have recorded when we were like getting into Mitsubani and into this village. I didn't, but it was very cool. It was very hidden, ducked off into like this rural area, and this me and my brother were like, what's happening? And it was very unique to see. I'm happy that they invited us into their home. And those are some of their other friends from college and things like that. Yeah, we're like, hey, okay. So then they started leading us down this path, and they wanted all of us to like line up in back of the wedding party and continue on to dancing. And here we are making our way, still dancing, and they're like, don't stop dancing, keep dancing, come on, welcome. At this point, I think we can hear some additional music, or I can't remember if the music was playing the whole time or not, but they have an MC over the speaker kind of hyping up the crowd. And yeah, we're just joining in and making our way slowly but surely to the home itself. When we made it to the home, they gave us a tour of the home, and they have, their own farm. They it seems as if they may live off of the land a bit. And we went through just like all of their land just to see like how the groom, how he grew up. And that's his cousin right there. His cousins were there, and they were just telling us how they used to play out in this area that we're walking through. And they were leading us at this point. They were leading us to this creek, a creek that they that they would grow up, running off to and playing around. And it was at this point right here where they're like, no, we're supposed to go this way, we're supposed to go that way. And they were like, okay, let's see who can make it there the fastest. And I think my group made it there first. So here's the creek. And, it was just like, good memories for them, I'm assuming. We ended up going on the other side of the creek. So here we are, still following behind the groom's cousin and her husband. They're leading the way, and we're going to the other side, and really to just relax, take pictures, fellowship, and I guess we're kind of just waiting for, I don't know what we were doing, but here I am. That's everyone. I'm just like taking in the scenery. It was so beautiful. And this was kind of like my first impression of, Kenya outside of the city. It was just good air, just good vibes. And I'm like, here I am. I'm in Kenya. This is our first day. It was very cool. I just wanted to like take in all of the scenery. Just people. My brother, obviously, he's gonna photobomb every time. I'm just get people in their natural, being while we're here in Kenya. I think we ended up taking some pictures. But yeah, this is their family land, and they were very proud to show us, how they grew up, or how he grew up and his family. And I'm very honored. So moving on, dinner. This is how we were introduced for dinner. Another dance show, if you will, and chanting session. I don't know what I was thinking with my camera. And I didn't realize until literally after the trip that I recorded in portrait the entire time. So I'm sorry. I wish I could have changed it, but yeah. It is what it is, right? But here they are performing for us, performing for the village that they invited to this dinner. And when I say they danced the whole day, they danced the whole day. And then they came and got us out of the audience for some participation as well. And I'll get to some of that later. They even changed clothes for us, y'all. Like, they had different segments. They had Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. Man, it was quite entertaining for sure. For sure. I forgot to mention that before we went on that tour into their village and their land, they welcomed us into the actual home first, and the bride and groom served each other as they met the family, and then they served their guests, and it was fresh corn from their land, and it was also like a tea, some type of tea, and some porridge that they offered all of the guests as the bride was welcomed into the family and into their village. So I did not record while we were doing all of that because we were inside their home, and I was feeling like, oh man, like I don't think it would be appropriate, but it was just an amazing experience. So, oh man, so here's the part where they're like, all right, you all come and get up and dance with us. Again, it's like, no, I'm good. Just a little bit. Oh man, this was so fun. And then more people got up to dance, and more people got up to dance, and we're up dancing, and it was really a good vibe. Just pure love, authentic celebration. So this part was so fun. As you can see, all the women, friends, and family of the bride and the groom, we were dressed, we were covered up. We went in the house, got covered up. We even switched shoes so that people could not know who we were. And the groom had to, just based on height and frame, who his wife was. And he actually did not select her on the first try, but he did get her the second time. And then that night we went out. We had a great time with the bridesmaids, and we got some bottles. We went clubbing in Kenya. Hey bro, what's up? I see you. We had a good time. And then my brother was like, I love traveling with you. He always says that. I love you, bro. But yeah, it was a good vibe. I forget the name of this club. I'll get it. I'll put it in the comments or something. I gotta ask my brother. It's been a while, y'all. I know it took me a long time. It took me a long time to make this recap, but it's here. Hey. One thing I do know, we were very cautious about where we put our things down at, because we were told that there's a lot of petty crime that goes on, as just like in some other foreign countries. And so whenever you travel like that, yeah, have fun, but make sure that you know where your things are at all time. So I think the security guard or somebody was telling us how someone had just gotten their wallet taken or phone taken days ago. So here I am on the balcony of our hotel room. Elijah was a groomsman. He was one of the groomsmen, and so he had to go for the wedding practice. So I was just relaxing. I ordered some food. It was African food. It was Nigerian food, and I just sat on the balcony and just took it all in. Again, this is day 2 in Kenya at this point, and it wasn't that much of a view per se, but it was the view. Like it was the experience, like, okay, what do you see when you stay at a hotel in Kenya? This is what you see when you stay at a hotel in Kenya, in Nairobi specifically. So I think I'm going to show my food a little bit, or not. Just views. And so that evening when my brother came back, we actually both brought our own personal skates so that we could go skating in Nairobi. It's something that we looked up before we came. And my brother is an avid skater. I am an amateur skater for sure. And yeah, look at him showing out. You hear me? And I'm not that. But as you can see, we almost had the doggone rink to ourselves. I don't know. We actually ended up speaking to one of the influencers that teaches skating classes there and was there when the rink first opened up. And he said when it first opened up that the locals really loved it and it would be crowded. And let me tell you, this is a top of the line facility. Like I've been to a lot of facilities, but none like that. It was actually in a mall, like on the 5th floor or something. So here we are on where are we? Oh no, this is going to the wedding. So yeah, the wedding was at Nairobi National Park. As you saw, some baboons of some sort, some type of monkey. And I'm just sitting here waiting for the wedding to start. There's the setup. It was a beautiful layout. I will say that it took a very long time to get to this particular part of the park because the national park charges like $80 a person. It's like a substantial amount per person to like go through the park, so we had to go around the park and it was crazy. But anyways, here we are. The bride is coming out. And again, here we are welcoming her. All the women are at this side of the park where the housing is, because you can rent the rooms there. You can rent the little huts there to stay in. So here she is, so beautiful. And those are the bridesmaids. Very beautiful. And then family. That's a mother-in-law. Are like aunties or so. Oh no, that's her aunt from the States, and then other aunts and cousins, I'm assuming. And so she could not touch the ground, which is why the garments are laid out for her to walk on. And as we ran out of garments, they continued to place them in front of her so that her feet would not touch the ground. So here we are. The wedding finally started, and here are the bridesmaids coming down, so beautiful, and the groomsmen. There's bro. It was a very, very nice wedding. And everything was just so beautiful. And here they are. Here is the bride anyway. The bride and her brother who walked her down the aisle. And this is the newly wedded couple. All right. So what a good feeling. Like it was a good feeling. Much love, Ashley and Ian. Congratulations again. I'm late, but So here's the reception. The reception was decked out. More dancing, more welcoming the couple into the reception room. And they were like, come on, get up, come dance. I'm like, I'm danced out. But it was fun. It was fun to watch. I think I got up there and danced like once or twice. But after the day before, I was like, oh, I got to take a break. We have a safari to go on tomorrow. So here they are coming in, the newlywed couple. So beautiful. And when I tell you they dance a lot. I'm not knocking it. I just wish that I had that much energy. So here's some pictures that we took after the wedding. Hey y'all. Had to get it in. And now, my brother and I guess we just skipped to the next day. I was tired. I was so tired. So here we go. We're at the airport going to Amboseli. And Amboseli is where the safari took place. Did I say that right? And it was a half-hour flight to get there. And we took these small planes. I'm not gonna lie, our flight to get there was extremely delayed. So I was a bit irritated, and I think it was because of weather. As you can see, it was rainy outside. So we rode on these small planes to get to Amboseli. And here we are. I had never ridden on a plane like this before. I've ridden on several planes, even military planes and all of that, but none like this. So it was kind of cool. We almost had the whole plane to ourselves. And then I was sitting in the back, and then when my brother came on, he was like, why are you sitting back there? He's like, all this room, let's go to the front. And I'm like, okay, let's go to the front then. So we go to the front, and he was right, because then I was able to see all of the cool electronics of the plane and, kind of like be in the pit a little bit. So I was grateful for that. This captain was pretty nice. I like to try to converse with people when I travel, and he was very receptive, and just overall it was a nice experience. Here we are taking off, and then here we are landing. I don't know if you see the landing strip straight ahead, but that's where we're going. And as you can see, there is nothing around it. So we're like, oh wow, like we're here. Like the safari starts immediately. And so here we are landing into Amboseli, where we would be going to Kilima Safari Camp. And there you have it. Right at landing, we see the elephants nearby, and we're still on the plane. Like the safari hadn't even started yet. And there's some other people that were, I guess, on another plane, or maybe they were about to leave. You can see the vehicles who is at my door? Gosh. right back. Okay, I'm back. So I think I was saying you can see the vehicles that were supposed to be taking us around the safari and the camp. And this was like the one building that was near the landing strip that provided water and toilet access. So here we are, and we're just talking. He's giving us a description of everything. That's Mount Kilimanjaro, but the clouds are kind of covering it, so you can't really see like the top, the snow caps. So, but he's telling us, what everything is and giving us a brief explanation of just our surroundings at the moment. There are even some carcasses from several animals that I'm assuming perished out here in the desert. So that was kind of cool. And now we're off. And honestly, because we were so late flying out to Amboseli, we didn't get a chance for a full safari day on the first day. So we're kind of like driving through the desert like really quickly because we don't want to lose sunlight, because obviously there's no lighting out there. So when it's dark, and you don't want to be out there in the dark with animals. So we're like speeding through, not much of a tour, but we're still able to, just see some of the animals along the way. And if you watched my live during this time, I think you would see most of what I was able to see at that time. So here we are, actually passing through the Amboseli National Park gate, and here we are arriving at Kilima Safari Camp. Look at the bugs. Oh my gosh, so when I packed to go to Kenya, I sprayed all of my clothes with bug repellent, and I brought bracelets and all the things so that I would not get bit up, and I'd say that it worked for the most part. So here we are. We've made it to our camping spot, and really, it's a glamp. It's not really you're not really outside. However, this facility is actually a tent. I think I may show that. Even though there's a bathroom and showers and all of that, the material of the place is actually a tent still. So that's the gentleman coming in and helping us to get settled in, releasing the curtains so that the bugs won't bite us up while we're sleeping at night. He's just showing us how everything works, and I mean, it was cool. It was still a lot of bugs in there though, which is why we needed the curtains. We immediately went to get some food. The food there was pretty nice. They serve you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we're very happy that we went straight there because, as you can see, it's dark already. And we would have been out there in the middle of nowhere trying to get to the camp. So, yeah, there's all the other tourists there eating, and you pretty much sit at the same table for every meal. They designate a table for your party during your stay. And so now we're back at our camp tent, going inside. As you can see, bugs can easily get in there if they want to get in there, and bugs were in there. I literally, the first day I sprayed everywhere, and I killed bugs and tried to make it bug free as much as possible. This is me that night. I could barely sleep. I'm hearing things. I'm hearing animals. I'm hearing things move. I'm hearing bugs buzzing around. Like, it was different. And I've camped before, but I've never camped in Kenya before. So yeah. All right. So now, bright and early the next day, now we can actually go on a full day's worth of a safari. And so here we are, along with many other people that are up early to go safarying. Is that a word? Go on a safari. Whatever. You get the gist of it. First thing we saw were what are those? Oh, the wildebeest. Yeah, there were like plenty of wildebeest there. And then the second thing we saw were elephants. And here I am just taking it in once again and looking for animals. You see, we bought ourselves some jackets. It says Camp Kalima or whatever, safari camp. Yes, I'm extra. I got the netting and everything because I don't want stuff biting me. My brother, he was laughing. He's like, you do too much. I'm like, you don't do enough. But yeah, I had to take it off for the picture though. I think eventually I did settle in and I think I took it off later on because it was blocking my view of the animals. And so just randomly walking across the road were baboons. And they're like, yeah, we don't mess with you. I'm trying to get his attention. And they're like, yeah, no, leave me alone. And there are some zebras. Now, honestly, we didn't see as many animals as I thought we would see on this safari. When we did spot an animal, it was cool, and it was nice to see, but I guess I just assumed that we would see a lot more. For example, there were no lions, we saw no tigers, and from a very, 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 very far distance, we saw a cheetah. And what else? I mean, we saw some other things, but not nearly as much as I thought we would see. We did get a little bit more up close and personal to some elephants and some zebras. Yeah, I'm talking about you. It was pretty cool. I think seeing the zebras was my favorite part because I'm infatuated with zebras a little bit. I brought some pictures, some portraits of zebras on my way out of the camp because they're just so cool. We got to visit the, Life-Giving Mountain. And you're supposed to be able to see Mount Kilimanjaro from the view. We're tired as hell walking up these stairs. I was a little irritated at this point. I don't know. I think I was just tired. I think we were hungry. And when you're out on a safari, you don't have time to go back to the camp to eat the formal lunch. So they bring a packed lunch with you. And it was not as great. But here we are back at the camp. I think I was over it. As you see, I didn't even film anymore after that. And I'm just listening to the animals. I'm a little bit more, calm and secure in being outside at this point. But as you can see, I still have my socks rolled up and my jacket on because I don't want bugs biting me. This is what outside our tent looked like. So we're literally out in the park where animals are living, but in a tent. A very well done, well made tent, I should add, but yet a tent in the middle of the wild. I believe this is dinner that night, and it was someone's birthday that was also staying there. And so we were a little confused, and honestly, I thought that they were about to come over to our table because my brother had just celebrated his birthday. And I'm like, dang, did they know? So here we are on our very last day. In fact, we got up, ate some food, and then headed back out towards the airport on what would be our final trip through the safari camp to see animals and things of that nature. We took some pictures on the way out and called it a day. We even took some pictures with one of the village people, and then we went home. And then we found a place to eat, and it was Italian food, and it was all right, but the owner was nice. And in Kenya, they have these buses, and they paint their buses with like Western celebrities. And I don't know why exactly, but I guess to make them look appealing to the locals. But yeah, that was a thing. I think I have some more videos from some more of those buses later on. So when we got back from the safari, we checked into a different hotel. And this hotel was a Marriott. I booked this hotel, and it was called, what was the name of this hotel? I'm trying to see if I can find, if it's gonna come up in the video. I'm like so forgetful. But as you can see, it was a very nice hotel. Like very nice, way better than the Social House. But the Social House wasn't bad. It's just that this one was a lot bigger, had a lot more amenities, a lot more decor, a little bit fancier. And it was called, drum roll please. Oh, it was called The Tribe. I had to go look it up, y'all. My memory is so shot. But anyways, The Tribe was on point. The Tribe Nairobi. It was on point. I like them. I like them a lot. Again, this was a Marriott hotel, and yeah, it was pretty neat. So we went to the mall. There are several very nice malls in Nairobi, by the way. I gotta ask my brother once again, like, what was the name of this mall? Maybe we'll see it in one of these videos. But the malls were nice. We went there to go find something to eat. And we got a nice tour along the way. It's really, they put a lot into these malls. Like a lot. Look at the decor. This is still the mall, okay? This is still the mall. They had a few people, a few vendors that were outside of the stores, but it was a really cool mall. Very large, about 3 or 4 floors, and very wide. It had some of everything in it. And so this is the food court, and we settled on this restaurant. I don't know if it was called Love at First Bite, but that was the signage there. I was cute. I was cute. And we ate, and then I went back to the pool. The pool was amazing at the Tribe. Do you see it? Like, they put a lot in Nairobi. Like, the parts that are built up in Kenya and in Nairobi are like really, really nice. And we actually went to one of the sister hotels that was down the street and visited their pool as well. But we didn't stay long because they were setting up for New Year's Eve. This was on New Year's Eve. And so they were setting up. So we came back to the Tribe, and I had a little photo shoot. And overall, the Tribe was a vibe. So here we are, New Year's Eve. We went to a party and it was kind of cool. I had some issues though. I'm gonna talk about it probably in another video. I had some issues with some of the people that were there and some of the locals, but I'm gonna keep this video positive. I had a good time overall, being there with my brother, bringing in a new year, and oh man, it was very interesting. I'll just say that. And it's nothing like home. It's nothing like home. You think that you go to a country of people that look like you and think that you would be treated fairly, and it's just not the case. And it's a shame, because it's like, how do you have, look, I'll talk about it later. It's a whole nother topic that needs to be, talked about and analyzed. So I'll save it. But yeah, Happy New Year. It's still a new year. I'm not too late. So yeah, we finished the night out, took some pictures. This was the person that put on the party, and it was actually inside the tribe. So it was a good time, and I was cute, so it was a win. On our last day, or shall I say my last day, we went on a tour of Nairobi. We met up with the tour guide in the city, in the urban area, and he was really nice, very informative. He was a local, and there were two other women that were on the tour with us. And this is what I was talking about when I say they wrapped the buses with like different celebrities that are known to Western society for the most part, and they I think that's like what attracts people to ride on the buses. I don't know, but you saw it often. Here we are at August 7th Memorial Park. This just happened to be close to our meetup point. And as you can see, there's a lot going on in this city area. People selling things, people just relaxing. And we walked over to the convention center. And it's the Kenyatta International Convention Center. There it is right there. And on this side of things, it was pretty, quiet, not a lot of things going on. We go inside, we go all the way to the very top, and we're able to see the city and everything that's going on. We're pointing out different buildings. He's telling us about different buildings and the history and the people that have come to visit in the different buildings. There's kids playing, they're skating, playing hockey, and it's just overall, just almost like a regular city in the United States. I gotta get my angles, and like I said, my brother is forever gonna photobomb. But yeah, it was just like a good picture moment up there. There's a lot of other tourists up there taking pictures, and they had a festival happening at the same time that we were there, probably because it was around the holidays. I'm not exactly sure how they celebrate, but I will say that during this time they deck their kids out in like some of their finest clothing. So it was very often that you would see kids dressed in their best. I'm talking about like their church clothes, just walking around just because of the holidays, I'm assuming. And so we're walking down to the bottom of the convention center so that we can exit our tour. And when we get out there, we walk to like the back of the convention center, and I take a picture with one of the security guards. He was cool. And this is what the back of the convention center looked like. It was nothing compared to when we walked in, and it was a lot going on. There were people everywhere. You see the Christmas tree, the water show, just people standing around and just, I guess, taking pictures, being tourists or just being outside. There's me. Everyone was just taking pictures next to the sign, and this lady said, "Can you take my picture?" And I'm like, "Sure, I got you, sis." And so I stood there and started to do what everyone else was doing, just hanging and taking pictures and videos and observing all of the different buildings, the office of the governor, the cathedral. And it was just cool just being there. We stopped inside the cathedral just for a brief moment, just to see the inside. We didn't want to be disrespectful or anything, so we popped in and then we popped right on out of there. And that's the outside of it. This was nearing the end of our tour. And so as we're walking to our end point, we see this smoking zone. And I'm like, what is that? And apparently you can't smoke in Nairobi unless you are smoking in one of these smoking zones. And so I'm like, that's neat. And we just walked past this market that had vultures sitting and waiting for the opportunity to snag any piece of fish that they can find. We were standing in front of a fish market and it smelled so bad. It reeked of fish. It was really, really bad. So that's why they're there. And I was like, wow, I don't think I've ever experienced being so up close and personal to vultures. So that's the city market, and we just kept walking. We walked past a mosque, and it was closed. So we just got to observe just some of the buildings and just up close and personal, you know? There's also a library that was closed, and again, I'm assuming everything was for the most part closed due to the holidays. We are making our way to our end point, and of course there's more history to be heard. And so our tour guide, he was really, really good. I tipped him well. He took us pretty much everywhere we wanted to go, and we ended it here at this hotel. It was called the Treetop Hotel, and apparently it's a very well-known hotel that hosts very important, famous, and influential people. So he showed us around the common areas, and so it was so nice that we decided to sit and eat. And it was here that Princess Elizabeth came and visited. The name of the place is called Thorntree Cafe, and it was a good time, you know. I'm happy, I'm hungry, I'm ready to eat. I'm sporting my Let's Talk About It shirt. My Auntie Missy bought me that shirt. She bought me 3 of them. Shout out to Auntie Missy. Thank you. Thank you. So you know we gotta have the wine poured, right? If you know me and my brother, you know we like to have a little drink from time to time. But yeah, the experience was so nice. It was so nice. They treated us well. I had this really good pizza. It was really good. I think that was beef. It was like a Philly cheesesteak pizza or something like that. And here we are in the final drive. We left the restaurant, and now I'm just getting my final footage, looking at all that I can see before I get back on my plane. We took Ubers mostly everywhere, and the Ubers were extremely cheap. Like, I'm talking $1 or $2, maybe $5 for luxury Ubers. And I'm back on my plane to come back home. Again, this whole experience was not exactly what I thought it would be going into it, but I gained so much more of an experience than what I thought I was going to. So it's a plus for sure. Would I recommend going? I absolutely recommend anyone to go anywhere that they've never been, because my experience may not be your experience. And again, I'm saying that I had a great time. There were some some trying times, I'm not gonna lie, but overall it was great. It was great. I feel like I got to see so many parts of Nairobi and outside of Nairobi that I would not have been able to experience had I not gone with the people that I went with. And again, hold on, let's get to this food, because if you're still with me, this food was fooding. I mean, come on. KLM, this is KLM on the way back in partnership with Delta. And of course, I chose Delta One again, and the food was just amazing. And the wine was always being poured. So I am just extremely satisfied with the service that I had when flying on Delta One and its partner companies. So again, thanks for watching. I hope that you can take anything that I've given out in this video and use it for your traveling endeavors. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them down in the comment section. I would love to answer your questions. I would love to dig deeper into some of the things that I just, went across very quickly, because I mean, I'm up to like 52 minutes on this video. So if I would have added all the details I really wanted to add, it would have been just crazy long. So I may just talk about some other aspects in some other videos, but here we go. Thanks again so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.